What did I beat? 3178.
It's Levy Rosman, aka Gotham Chess, absolutely speechless because he's just taken down two-time World Chess Championship challenger Jan Nepomniachtchi in a titled Tuesday game back in 2024. But the most fascinating thing about this story is the manner in which he did it. The scramble at the end is incredible. He has no right. It's absolutely unreal. He's 350 points underrated. He's playing a Sicilian against Jan, which he never plays here. Should be losing this game. Watch what happens. It's online chess, of course, entitled Tuesday. It's the best Grandmasters in the world. It's a Rossolimo on the board. They do get a second back per move. That's known as excrement, but still, Levy gets down on the clock. He's out of his depth in the opening. We see it here already because after knight takes, the best moves are knight g6 or queen b6. Levy builds the banana hammock, and this really weakens these dark squares. Nepo could take, put the bishop on f4, and he's sitting pretty with a nice advantage already. However, he completely forgets which way his bishop is supposed to move. Very, very meek move. But okay, making way for the knight to hop and then land here. You don't actually have to react to that. You could carry on. Upon knight b5, you push the queen pawn and cover this square. But Levy covers the square. It makes some sense. In for a penny, in for a pound, weaken every dark square. He completes the side quest of all the pawns on light squares, wins himself a day out with Magnus Carlsen at the Pony Club. What a lucky guy. We now see the explosive c4, and this is known as the Maroczy bind. But what's cool is that Levy tucks in the bishop, attacks the knight. Nepo should defend it with bishop e3 or take, but he moves it back, breaking opening principles and then allowing Levy to strike with the d-pawn. It looked like you were clamped down, but no siree. Levy striking out here and the opening's gone wrong. It's really interesting. Even a super GM can get a bit confuddled if you mix up some weird move order, take them out their book, and Levy's fine with black. You can actually take here, let the queens leave the board, but not played. We get pawn d4 taking the space. This knight centralises, castles, bishop f4, and one of the best plans is running the kingside pawns. h6, g5, f5, roar like a lion, but Levy goes for this. Makes a lot of sense. Always get your bits out at the chess club, at the board. There are many things you should do at the chess club, but just don't get too disheartened if you lose a few games.
Every single one of them. And not just the men, but the women. And the children too.
We now see this knight centralising, and it's a real octopus here. Hits the bishop, but also hits the loose pawn. And you don't really want to start playing rook b8. So the queen slides out, defends, counters on the b-pawn, offers a bishop, which could be munched, but Nepo says no. He plays this horrible move, queen b3. Now queen d2 is a lot more precise to defend that pawn. This allows a change of structure, which is really stinky. No one wants that. The knight's now got a monster square as well in many of the lines. Levy starts with this move, and he's hitting b3, threatening d3. Technically this is the best move, but not so obvious, not so easy to find. So Nepo backs up with the bishop, offers an exchange, defends the pawn behind. Levy plows forward here. Best move, cementing. If you take, then the knight hops in. Not like that, but like that. This bishop's also had its eyes opened. We see knight takes on b7 in response. So Nepo's now a pawn to the good. But this one's dangerous. This bishop's a monster, but don't take straight away. This would be a mistake. Something like this, and white sits fine. Let's back it up. Levy didn't do so. He played the knight into f5, looking to hop. Now we see knight a5 played, offering an exchange, and best is centralising. leaving this guy looking really silly out on the edge. Very stinky wiener schnitzel, but Levy blunders. Bishop takes on b2, and you can actually now take this knight. Ignore this threat, because after you take here, there's a discovery. This is the point. And you've now picked up 2 minors for a rook. It's white that's doing great. Wonderful outside passer. This one can be rounded up soon. Not found. Instead, Nepo played this. So understandable, but now allows knight takes. The white rook's got a choice. Nepo plays the best move. No bishop pair for you, sir. And rook f8, rook f e8 is now selected by Levy. And he's saying, if you want to take me and go for this, whoops, this is the best move, kick the knight. But what Levy's calculating is rook takes, knight takes here. If you try b4 at an earlier point, well then there's knight takes here. However, in this entire line, you don't have to take straight away. You can play bishop d2, knight's got to move, then win the pawn, and it's actually white that's doing great here. So it was the way to go. A miscalculation, but it's not perfect chess, right? Whenever is it? What does Nepo play though? Not the best move. g4, lashing out. Now we know he loves to party, we know he loves to boogie, but this is a bit much. He's opening his king. If the knight moves, it makes complete sense. But this is the epic follow-up that Levy finds. Absolute clutchness, hitting a bishop, and if it backs up, well then there's rook takes on g4. Black's doing amazing here. So we didn't see this bishop back up. It should actually go to d2, best line, but this was played. Levy takes here, and now there's a threat to take the bishop and then win a knight. Not easy to fight against. So Nepo takes, pawn recaptures, saves his knight now, but Levy wins a pawn here. He could even play the rook in and down, try and win some vital time, invade the position. This is what happened though. This rook rounds up the pawn, and despite all the fantastic play, the fact that black is a smidge better, technically, the material's still level, and it's Nepo poised behind this dangerous passed pawn. Forget computer evaluation, 30 seconds down on the clock, playing a super GM, surely this is lost. Well, watch what Levy does. This is where he really plays above his rating at times. He's so good on low time, scrambling away. Pressure's on now to keep the position and not lose on time, not blunder something, but Levy's holding on here. We see rook d3 hitting the knight, saves itself. Rook into d6, that's a pawn, lost. Surely these two connected, running, will decide the fate of the game, but Levy battling away, picks up a tempo on the knight, should go to d2 apparently, hops to c3. This one dives in now and hits the f-pawn, and apparently best is rook d6, allowing the pawn to drop, but picking up time against the knight. This was however played. Defensive, but working. Check is played. King f1, knight f3. It's a double whammy threat. Win the h-pawn, and if you defend it, then you can hop this way, start hitting the b-pawn. If it moves, you're on the c-pawn. So that's why rook d6 stops knight d2, holds these passes together. We see takes here with check, king e2, not the most precise moves, but it's human chess. Nepo should now run his passer, but he plays. Knight e3, not actually the best. You can crash through. Levy misses it. This is the line though, saving the rook and the knight like that. Dealing with the kind of double tactics, overloaded pieces. Black's a bit better, but not played. Missed. Knight f6 on the board. Nepo's again better with pawn c5. He misses it. Pushes on with the b-pawn. Now we see this knight hop in, hits this rook, and it is huge counterplay. Rook d4's on the board. If you try go for a discovered check already, then there's this, and black's just losing. Pawn's too fast. So Levy plays f5. We now see pawn f3, although again c5 is just clutch and really good for white. This is played though, knight g3 check, opens up the discovery, so the king steps in to defend, and now the pawn drops, and this is a different game. f4 could be coming, after g5 supports it. It's a race, the check is played, helps the king improve. King d2, rook f2 check, king over to the c file, and after another check, king b3, rook f3, it looks like you're absolutely dead. But this move saves things, just. f4's on the way. Can you not play it straight away? Well, no, there's a check. And this is played, and then this. Technically, this is the best line. Something weird, and who knows what's going on here. Engine gives it a draw, but that's just nuts. Anything could happen. All three results. Let's back it up. This wasn't played immediately. Levy sees it, steps in with the king, and now a huge blunder. Best is actually king c2. Defend this rook here. But played in the game, pawn c5. There were so many moves where this pawn should be pushed, but this isn't the moment because it allows pawn f4. This time there's no knight g4 check. So when the knight moves, the rook drops. So of course the knight doesn't move. King c4 is selected here. Excuse me. Now we see takes. That's an entire knight. If you try and take and play this position, just doesn't work. The black king moves in too fast. The black knight covers the pawn promotion. This is a lost game. So we didn't see this. Nepo keeps the rook alive. A few more moves here. The game was finished. Nepo just getting crushed at this point. He bounces back, but after f2, he resigns this game. Because the pawn's going through, you know what to do. Something like this. You're just forcing it through. There's a nice little checkmate finish. Resigns on move 56. This is Levy when he realises what's happened. Unreal game there from Levy Rosman. I'll get to a few more of his most famous crushes soon. And do have a look at the video on screen if you want to see some more epic chess. Thanks very much for watching and see you soon. Cheers.